Hey, I'm Sean,
Hi, and I'm Shannon.
and we're the host of Wifey and Baby Mama. Happy Thursday, family. Happy Thursday, Baby Mama.
Yes, happy Thursday to you.
We are blessed and thankful to be with you guys yet another week. And as we're
Yes, we
seeing
are.
daily, so many legends and icons are going to glory. And we did a special shout out to Frankie Beverly and Rich Homie Quan a couple of weeks ago, because how could you not, right? But it doesn't
No.
undercut any of the heaviness, loss that we endure as we lose one
Mhm,
great icon after another, whether it be in
mhm.
acting, entertainment, or just life in our own families and friends. So,
Right.
let's always remember to be kind and gentle, right? As we never know when that one day is our last day. So rest well to all the ones we've lost. And with that somber reminder of humility, we will get on with tonight's episode, which is titled Distasteful. Now, we had our first guest, Miss Minnie James, on last week, and we discussed emotional IQ. And how she, like Shannon and I, have a unique
Mhm.
relationship with the other mother in her blend. And some people can dig it, you know, and some people cannot. You're going to always have the negative Nancy's, like the person that we shall let remain nameless, as you discussed last week, baby mama.
I wish I could say his name. I really do.
Yeah, but we're gonna let him remain anonymous because we nice like that.
Yes, yes.
But more than people like him also, I want to discuss the distasteful parent on the opposite side of
Mhm.
blends, because that's more important than the negative Nancy's, because child, you can do with or without those. But parents, we have
Right.
to get along. So we purposely chose to run this episode right after emotional IQ because it really drives home that all blends are not feasible. All of them are not going to work. And it's not
Mhm.
always the new partners that causes the friction. Sometimes it's the baby mama and the baby daddy themselves that create the
Mhm.
hostility. And that, my people, has to stop, Shannon.
Yeah, it does. It has to stop. And, when you have a baby mama or the baby daddy, and neither one of them cares that there's discord, or,
Hmm.
there's disruption within the blend, that says a lot. If you
It
if you
does.
don't care enough to want everyone to get along, that says a lot. And a lot of times, we've seen this. It's both. It's not one or the other. A lot of times it is
Sometimes it's
the
both.
father and the father and the mother living in that chaos and thinking that's normal, thinking that's fine, thinking it shouldn't be any other way. Just like the
Right.
person we won't name.
Right. And this is one topic I can shamefully say, as an unlearned young mother, I failed at because I didn't
Mhm.
have anyone to teach me any better, or shows like this, or a podcast like
Mm.
this that I could reference to. Baby, all we knew was beef when I was growing up.
Mhm.
And for
Mhm.
all the other countries listening, that may not be used to our slang, it means physical altercations or beat downs. Okay. If you got wrong, we got with you. That's all me and my 50 sisters knew. We coming. Now the boys were pretty chill unless someone hit their sister, or threatened us. Then they coming too. But the girls, honey, it was set it off Saturdays on any of the baby daddies at any given time if they got out of hand, okay? And child, we have a
Mhm.
lot of baby daddies. I think my mom has 45 to 50 grandkids right now.
Oh,
And mostly,
wow.
yeah, and mostly by the girls. So it's some dudes out there with some stories, let me tell y'all. So I should have invited some of my brother-in-laws. That's what
You
I
should
call them, right?
have.
Because once
Yes.
I figure once you make a child with someone in the family, in my eyes, you become like family,
Mhm.
So,
Yeah, that's true.
but baby, we'd have been here for a while, so maybe not. But I bet you some of them got some crazy stories, baby. My mama daughters
Mm.
are nuts, all of us. So, whoo, child, I thank
Wow.
God for His mercy.
Yeah. Yeah, yeah.
So, Shannon, I know
Mm.
that you're pretty cool and calm, and because I'm in the situation, and you have one child, and that's with, your baby daddy is my
Mhm.
husband. So I know you
Mhm.
guys' blend was pretty cool. No, you've had your days as well, but it wasn't any intentional hostility. And I don't know what happened the first 11 years, because when I came in the picture, Jay was already 11.
Mm.
But I know from moving forward, I've never seen you guys to a point that you couldn't maintain, or couldn't sit down, and even if your families had to do it. But
Yeah.
was it something I missed before those first 11 years?
No, not with not with um me having an issue with any of his girlfriends or anything like that. It was always them having an issue with me. They immediately thought I was going to be difficult, or being the mother of his child, that I would have the bring on the baby mama drama. And me being, like I've always said, a little naive South Dakotian, I was puzzled half the time. It took me a while to pick up on energy to say, wait a minute, they don't like me already and they don't know me.
Right.
I
But
remember.
I, no,
Mhm,
go ahead. I'm
mhm.
sorry. You
Oh
said you
no, I
remember.
think I told this story before about one girl. Whenever I was in Buffalo, when I was living in Buffalo, or even when I would visit Buffalo, she wouldn't come in the house when I was there, and I never understood why. Until later on, come to find out, she thought if she came in, it was going to be something, and that was the furthest thing from my mind, because it just wasn't like that with me. It just wasn't there. So
Right. But I think I'm more interested to know, did you and him have any drama? Like, was it any time when you and he had any
oh
toxicity or any of that going on with your child?
oh yeah, I remember one incident um, when Jay was 2, and Jimmy wanted him to go to bed for whatever reason. I don't
Mhm.
remember why. And this is going to sound really benign. Like, people are going to say that's not really a big thing. But, I wasn't used to arguing with anyone. I had never been in any type of relationship where I had any
And that
type
was your
of,
first child.
yeah. Yeah. And never had any argument with a boyfriend, nothing. Never any drama. And so when we got into it, simply because I said, he's 2, he doesn't have to get up and go to work tomorrow. He doesn't have to get up and go to school. Why are you insisting that this little boy go to bed? And so we got into a little back and forth, and it got a little bit rowdy. But other than that, there was stuff, you know, uh, to do with visitation one time, or trying to, the whole family, not just, baby daddy, wanted Jay to stay in Buffalo. And I'm like, no, he can't stay in Buffalo. We're going back to Charlotte, and that type of thing. But it was never any long lasting beef, or a whole bunch of drama, simply because I shut down. I don't go back and forth.
That's it.
So you're going to be arguing by yourself. You're going to be screaming and yelling at yourself because
And
I
see, you
just,
got to
I
know
just
when.
don't do it. Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
so you gotta know when, and someone has to be the adult. And that's, it's crazy because they talk about opposite attracts in relationships, but that's where you and I are opposites attract in our
Hmm.
friendship. And I think, like, one has to be the calm to the storm, because of course I'm the storm,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
You
Yeah.
said that I'm gonna shut down. No, baby, we're gonna go all night. And if you get real wrong, it can go down. So
Right.
yeah,
Right.
and Lord, I know all y'all out there probably thank God yourselves, like, Lord, thank you for making her a better
Mhm.
person when I tell some of these stories. But I got another one for you. And you know what? It's cringeworthy now. But then, I thought I was right, because nobody got to disrespect me. And I went on and on down ghetto lane, baby, as long as I could. But again, I was unlearned, and I was not afraid of anything, anybody, right? So you know where I
Mhm.
ended up, Shannon? In jail, right in jail. And that's
Yeah.
why I'm not ashamed to tell these stories or share these experiences, because had someone taught me etiquette and, the proper way to deal with things, my two children would not have had to watch their mother get dragged out of the house in the middle of the night because I behaved so distastefully. With a ninja, I didn't even
Okay.
want, right? But I had a
Yeah.
point to
Yeah.
prove. And it was
Right.
about my respect, and it was about don't do it's not about that. When children are involved, you should always have their best interests in mind. So the short of
Right.
that long story is, my second daughter's dad took her to an ex's house, whom he know I despised. That's that little ashy broad I always be referring to. He knew I didn't like her. But he wanted to appease her because he was still sleeping with her, right? He was still sleeping with
Mhm.
us both, little did I know. And he wanted to
Mhm.
prove to her that she was important. Like, I'm gonna bring her baby over here because you mean just as much to me, and we're gonna be treated equally. Well, you know what? That's how you know how that ended, right? I went to jail because boy, don't play with
Yes,
me.
yeah.
I wrecked both of them by the end of that night, and he was done. Stick a
Mm.
fork in him. He was canceled. But the damage was done, though, Shannon. My child saw that.
Yeah.
The
Yeah.
one child saw it happen because she was there. The both of them saw me get arrested, and when I look at it, I should have handled that in a million different ways with better results, right?
Mhm. Yeah.
Results that my children could have been proud of and said, my mom handled that well. When I get into if I ever have this kind of situation, this is how I should handle it. Not the way
Mhm.
that I did. And I'm not proud of that.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Yeah. But that's called growth, and the fact that, you recognize that there are plenty of people, you know, your age or older that still would be that same person
Yeah,
and
I
they
don't
wouldn't feel anything
even
about it.
I can't recall. It's a shame when you get so old you don't know how old you was. I don't even believe I was 30. But I was old
Okay.
enough to know
Okay.
better. I know, matter of fact, I
Mhm.
know I wasn't 30 because I remember for my 30th birthday party, the little girl was walking and my second daughter. So I wasn't 30 at the time, not even, but still too old for
Mhm.
the behavior I was displaying. So young ladies or young men, let me be the first to tell you that's not how that goes. We all want our respect. If it gets too hot, walk away. And I know some things are easier said than done in the moment, right? But this is why we're pre-gaming. That's what wife and baby mama is. It's a pre-game to what it
Yeah.
should be like. So please take heed to these stories. And again, not because we're right and because we know everything, but because I can tell you 100% that's not the way I should have handled that. It felt good then,
Yeah.
but it didn't feel good $1,500 later with the record, that you got to pay
Right.
to get expunged because now you want to work for the federal government. You get what I'm saying? So it's
Exactly.
always
Exactly.
consequences to those things. And thank God,
Mhm.
he's always gave me favor and grace. I was able to get it, taken care of. I did work for Homeland Security for over 10 years. I still work for the government to this day. It could have
Mhm.
been so much worse without
Right.
his favor and grace, because that's all it was. Because
Yeah.
I didn't have the ability to change me. I had to go to God, and
Mhm.
he changed who I was.
Yes. And you said it in the beginning, is what you saw growing up. So
Absolutely.
what we're trying to get across to everybody is, what do you want to show your children? you know,
That's right.
what
Because
what
what I
kind of
showed
example?
is what I
Mm-hmm.
displayed. What I was
Mm-hmm.
shown, I'm sorry, what I was shown is what I
Yeah.
displayed. Because
Yeah.
in my household, we don't do disrespect. That's what we were taught. Absolutely wrong.
Mm-hmm.
It was so wrong. Now, I do teach my kids, it's a level. So don't get me
Mm-hmm.
wrong. We don't lay down. If you can walk away, do so. This is how I
Yeah.
teach my children.
Yeah.
If you can make a better choice at that time, do so. And I mean, maybe this is right or wrong, but if you touch me now, all negotiations is off. Now everybody
Yeah.
handles stuff different, but if no one's put their hands on you, and if it's just a matter of you want to be right or your respect,
Mm-hmm.
don't take it to that level. Again,
Right.
I have to just make that disclaimer because I don't want anybody to be like I thought I was gonna hit her and get away with it. I have not changed that much. Keep your hands to yourself. But at that
Yeah.
point, no one
Yeah.
had touched me. It was no reason for that.
Mm-hmm.
But my pride and my respect and my teaching was, if somebody disrespect you, you go deal with it. And I'm telling you, that could have went bad on 1,000 different levels. Because, hey,
Oh yeah.
Shannon, let's start with I was in somebody else's house, and we all know the rules to that. My mama taught me
Right.
the rules.
Right.
If you go to
Right.
someone's house, you're gonna usually get what you're looking for. But
Uh-huh.
I
Yeah.
disregarded all of
Yeah.
that, because
Yeah.
I was big bad Sean. Honey,
Mm-hmm.
I was a force to
Yeah.
reckon with. And again, that's not what you want to do, guys and
Right.
girls.
Yeah. I remember in high school, my senior year, we were at a basketball game. I was dating one of the basketball players. And he was seeing another girl.
Mhm.
um, so but I wasn't his girlfriend. I guess she wasn't his girlfriend. We're in high school. You just kind of,
Right. Hang it
see
out.
people hanging
Kicking it.
out. But
Kicking it.
she was, yeah, kicking it. But she was trying to claim him, of course, because he was one of the, I guess, little superstars at the school. And
Okay.
one of the most popular on the court.
Okay.
And during halftime at a home game, I'm sitting in the bleachers, surrounded by my friends, my crew, and this little girl come stomping up the bleachers to me, stomping up the bleachers. And her mother just happened to be a teacher at the school as well, and so her mother was there at the game, sitting off to the side, not too far from where I was. Um,
Mhm.
but the girl comes stomping up and she just starts going off on me. Yeah, I really did not care what was coming out of her mouth. And she was saying, he's mine and he's this and he's that. And I mean, she just went on a rant. And my girls, had Laverne with me. Laverne. Laverne was ready
Right.
to ready to jump. But I'm like telling them, hey, leave this little girl alone. So when she finished, she said, so what you got to say? What do you have to say? And I'm just looking at her, and then I just calmly say, I don't have anything to say to you. And then I said a curse word, which was uncommon for me because I didn't
Right.
start really, really cursing until, my 20s.
Mhm.
But I did call her the B word.
Okay.
And you would have thought I smacked her. I'm like, you up here
Shit.
calling me all kind of names.
But I call you one name
Yeah.
and now you ready
What?
to go.
Yeah, she was like livid. And her mother intervened at that moment and told her, you went to her. She didn't come to you. So take your
See?
little butt back over there and sit down.
See?
But
And
I
it seems
wasn't,
like,
yeah.
see, her mother was with the
Mm-hmm.
right upbringing. Her mother
Uh-huh.
wasn't with that.
Yeah.
Like the
Yeah.
mother knew the rules. You came to
Yeah.
her.
Right. Right. But no, I
My mother
wasn't
didn't
I
know the
wasn't
rules,
gonna
Shannon.
but I
No,
wasn't
after
gonna
I
fight
beat
her,
this girl
nothing.
down, my mother meets
Yeah.
me at the house and get in the car and chase her. Now I'm finna go beat her
Oh
down for
Lord.
touching my
Oh
granddaughter.
Lord.
Oh, I was taught the complete opposite, girl. Oh, girl,
Yeah.
listen.
Yeah.
And brought 2, 3 sisters with her. Like, we just, what? I'm like, oh my God, mom, we all going to jail. But thank God, only me. Only I went. They, I was able to convince her to go home, take my kids, and, I'll see you
Uh-huh.
later. And girl, they knocked right on that door in the middle of the night. Boop, boop, boop. I'm like, oh my God.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
that was the last time they saw him. I said, now, wasn't the first time I've been in jail, but it was the last time because I learned, but and I got to get home and answer my 2 kids in the morning. Mama, where are you?
Mhm.
And you got to
Mhm.
look your kids in the face. Now, I'm trying to think of
Right.
a lie. My brother, who was sick of me and my mess, he said she was in jail for fighting. That's all she always do. And I'm like, why would you say that? He said, because maybe
Right.
you will realize you need to stop, girl. You're going to go to jail and one day you ain't going to come home. And I'm
Yeah.
telling you, between
Yeah.
his words and the judge telling me, if I see you in here
Mhm.
one more time for disorderly conduct, you're going to do 30
Mhm.
days. Sir,
Mhm.
he's never saw me again. Thank you, sir, for the warning. But
Yes.
it sometimes it
Yes.
takes those harsh, those wake up calls to be like, what am I doing here? So between my baby's face in the morning, both of them, where you like
Mhm.
waited up for me, and the judge telling me, and I'm like, is it worth it? So that's what we want to
Right.
get to. It's very
Yeah.
distasteful. All of it is. None of it
Mhm.
was worth it. So I'm glad you, Shannon, had some sense growing up. Because could you imagine both of us back in the day being the firecrackers that we were? 'Cause I done ran down to
Uh-huh.
some of Jimmy Broads too, a lot of them. So can you imagine both of us running around just wrecking them?
Oh Lord, yeah. We probably
A
wouldn't have the
mess.
relationship we have today though, if we weren't
No,
that
girl.
yin and yang because yeah,
Somebody be right straight. Now I'll probably still be doing time, girl. It's hard to calm me down. But
uh,
you're the calm in the
yeah,
storm here. So I'm glad
yeah.
that you were not. And I got to take lessons from you saying, you know what, I ain't gotta do
Mhm.
all that. So I thank God for his guidance. Because baby mama,
Yeah.
whew. But
Yeah.
anyway,
I
that's
remember one yeah, I remember
go
one
ahead.
time even with my husband, we were discussing some issue with one of his exes and he said something like, "Oh, you get her, wouldn't you?" And I'm like, no." He said, "What?" He
No.
said, I said, "I would get you, but I don't
Mhm.
have any beef with any woman." I said, "I'm married to you. So if you did anything crazy or whatever, I'm coming for you, not her." And he had never, I guess, experienced or heard anything like that. He says, "I can't believe you wouldn't go get her or you wouldn't do that." No.
No. Well,
I have
Well,
never
I'm gonna
went
just go
for the
ahead
woman.
and defend myself. I beat both of them up. I got him too. I didn't just get her. Oh, trust,
Yeah,
he
yeah,
got
yeah.
work too. They got it, both got it. But I'm just saying, I get what you're saying. But I get it
Hmm.
because I got him because you took her there. But I beat her down
Yeah,
because you was
yeah,
holding when I walk in the house, and I told you don't touch my
yeah.
daughter. So what I would have done,
Mm,
vice versa, is told him, nope, take that girl's baby home. You know she don't like me. I don't want no
yeah.
mess. Her and her whole
Right,
family a little
right.
off. Go on, go ahead. But she wanted to play family. So they both got a family. I
Mhm.
gave them a family package. But again, if I had to choose, I wouldn't have did that. But
Yeah,
anywho,
yeah,
that's
yeah.
enough embarrassment for me today. I recuse myself from these
Mhm,
situations, and I tell
mhm.
you all to handle it with as much class and tact as you can. Baby mama, you have
Yeah,
anything else though
yeah.
before we wrap up?
Well, I did want to bring up real quickly, a celebrity example of distasteful. Um, Courtney Kardashian is married to Travis Barker, who
Hmm.
used to be married to Shanna Mosley.
Hmm.
And Shanna has always had an issue because of her jealousy of whoever Travis has been with, even before Kardashian. So there's always been beef and public beef, and she makes it known and she talks on her, social media accounts about Courtney and Travis's PDA and all of this stuff. When, she's been divorced from Travis for too many years. I don't know, probably over 12, 13 years. And now the daughter that she shares with Travis has a really good relationship with Courtney Kardashian, and Shanna doesn't like that. And so the daughter's like, please, mom, begging with her mother to
Let
just
it
let them
go.
have peace. Yes, to have
Yeah.
peace. And it's like, how long do you carry that stuff around until what you're sick or have a stroke or cancer or something? It's going to do
And I tell you
something
something,
to you.
if you carry it long enough, it'll make
Hmm.
you sick. People don't realize that.
Yes,
You carry that kind of
yes.
discord and discontent for those years, like let it go.
Hmm.
So I
Right.
don't follow the story that closely. Of course, I know who they are. They're celebrities, but
Hmm.
so what is her issue? Was she not wanting to get divorced? Is she still in love with him? What is her issue with him?
It sounds like she's still in love with him every time she talks about him. When you and I have said that, when people still got emotions about the ex, if they're still so angry and they still have all of this, pent up whatever, there's something still there. And
Oh yeah.
she can't accept that he's moved on, and
Well, girl,
so
that
she
many
needs
years,
to,
like get over it.
I know, get over it.
Jeez.
So, but yeah, that's the reference I wanted to bring up too, just to let people know that even people their age, because they're not young, they should be well beyond the immaturity of that type of mess.
Exactly. Especially after all those years.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Wow.
So that
Well,
is it.
that's a great example, and I'm happy to hear somebody else. Well, at least I got over my drama. I mean, I got to be there.
Yeah.
I got over it. I grew up, and that's what it takes. It takes time and maturity. So, if that's all you have, baby mama, we'll wrap up with this. Before you act, think about the way your actions will taste in a few years down the road. And if you don't want a bitter taste about yourself later, make better choices now. And regardless of the examples and stories we gave here tonight, this isn't like a cut and dry moms or dad, bitter baby mamas. It's not like Shannon said, it's not to one or the other. Bitter baby mamas can be just as bad as toxic fathers, let me tell you.
Yes.
So let's just be better as a people, right? And as we always like to say, especially when the kids are watching. And that's our wrap up for tonight.
Amen. Right. Love it. Okay, on to the next segment.
All right, we've come to our Sweet Little Lie segment. Tonight's Sweet Little Lie comes from a sister who has a baby with the father of her other sister's children. Um, she has never told a soul, not even the dad knows he's the father. It was a drunk night on a ride home from the guy. but she had been abstinent for almost a year when it happened. So she had no doubt who the father was. He was the only man she'd been with about a year span. She just can't tell anyone out of fear that it would tear her family apart. And people often say to to her, the child looks just like the other sister's children, and the guy, that she has with the guy. But she chalks it up to the fact that, they're cousins, we're sisters.
Mm.
In reality, though, those children are sisters and brothers. And the sad part of that is not only the child not knowing their father, not knowing that you're actually growing up with your siblings that you think are your cousins. And that's another one, Shannon, I'm not
Yeah.
touching, but what you got?
Yeah. I don't even know what to do with that. I
I
mean,
don't either.
that's,
I'm
I
happy we
guess
don't have
that's
to
some,
give advice on these. I'm happy these are just
I know. Right,
people getting
right.
it off their chest. Because what do you say to that, right?
Yeah, yeah. I guess take it to your grave. I don't know.
That's it. Yeah. You did a feel fire or forget. I should have put take it
Yeah,
to your grave, talk about it, let it go. I should
exactly.
maybe next
Yes,
season
yes.
we're gonna have to add a segment to this, y'all. We're learning
Yeah,
as we go. So
yeah,
next season we might
yeah.
have to add because I can't touch that. I gotta put my MC Hammer
Hmm.
pants on. I
Yeah.
can't touch it. So that's a heavy load to carry. So if you have a sweet little lie that you want to get off your chest, hit us up. And this is your official invite. You can hit us up at wifeyandbabymama@gmail.com. That's wifeyandbabymama@gmail.com. And we'll get it on the air for you. Help you get off your chest. And it's all on you, baby mama.
Thank you. Now to the final segment of the night. It is our fictional family that we feel, fire, forget. And tonight I will talk about the James family from All of Us. It's a sitcom actually based on Jada and Will and their little blended family. And I think I've talked about them before, over the years, but um, the father um, and the mother, who was played by Lisa Ray, they had a child. Dwayne Martin played the father. And they're separated, or I'm sorry, I don't think they were ever married, but they had a child together, and now he's about to marry someone else. So he has a fiance, and Lisa Ray, who's his baby's mama, and his fiance, um, her name's Tia, played by Elise Neal. They did not get along at first, and he was pretty much like, keep me out of it. Like
Hmm.
I guess most guys would, they get nervous. They're like, okay,
Right.
if y'all don't get along, that's fine, but don't put me in the middle. Not understanding, dude, you are in the middle.
Oh,
So
absolutely.
you can't just sit back and let these two women go at it. And in one particular episode, they were competing against each other to see who could throw the best birthday party for the child. Now, of course, this TV sitcom, because in real life, if it were me, I wouldn't care. I'm like, girl, knock yourself out. If it were somebody, maybe you, Sean, you'd be like, you ain't, this is my child. You're not going to, if I'm deciding what kind of birthday party my child's going to have. And so that was,
Absolutely.
yes, see, how did I know that? And so that's
Absolutely.
what he was just kind of like sitting back saying, ooh, let me stay out of this. So, based off of this particular episode, now the series itself, of course, is the writing, uh, it as it gets better throughout the series and the various seasons of the show, things got better between the two women. But initially, this is how it started, where he wanted to stay out of it. So, because of that, I'm going to base my feel, fire, forget off of this first season of the show. And I'm going to say, I'm going to fire them for this, because he should have been thinking of the child, saying, okay, these women need to get along. So let me get in here and do what I can to make things happen.
And I'm going to absolutely not agree with you because although baby daddy helped us get along, I honestly
Mm-hmm.
think you and I could have still reached where we needed to go without him.
Oh, yeah.
So
Yeah.
sometimes
Yeah.
you got to just woman up, because I don't know if you remember guests last week who said they totally don't deal with the guy at all. They deal with
That's
each other. You
true.
know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
But I
Yeah.
get what you're saying as to he should have stepped in, but I want to keep him and just forget him. I want to
Okay.
forget them. I don't
You're
want to
gonna
fire them
forgive.
though, because I still think had they been, if they want to be, if they wanted to be women enough, they could have handled it. I still think so.
All right. All right. There you have it. Thank you, Sean, for your input. And for those of you, if you have an opinion on any of these, feel free to let us know. Some of you do anyway, so we welcome your various opinions. And we want to thank you for listening, tuning in as you do every Thursday at 7:30. We are so grateful for our audiences around the world, around the globe, and we look forward to next week. Until
Love you
then.
all. Bye.
I'm